I1 adapt. Today we are going to discuss for the subject microcontroller and microprocessor. This subject containing the beginning module basic parts of the computer and the second one hardware and software. These two modules discuss together because easy to understand about the computer system. Now basic parts of the computer. Now we want to identify the basic parts of the computer. These are the basic parts. A typical personal computer you need to able to identify main system component including case. This is the rear part of the case, and power supply unit, and this is the power supply unit, and floppy disk drivers, CD-ROM, DVD drivers, expansion slot, data cable. These are the main item about the computer system. That the computer motherboard, typical computer motherboard you want to understand. Computer motherboard is the motherboard able to identify main system component, that the power supply unit, hard and floppy disk drivers, and then we can understand the terms about the computer hardware and software. What is hardware? Hardware refers to physical component. Then that make up a computer system. Hardware refers to physical component that make up computer system, including the internal component. What are the internal components? As well as peripheral device such as monitor, printer, modem, and so on. These are the hardware, refer to hardware. That the hardware refer to physical component that make up a computer system, including the internal component as well as peripheral device such as monitor, printer, modem, so on. This is the definition for the hardware. Now the second one, software. Software refer to program instruction. Program instruction carried out by the computer when doing specific tasks such as word processing, database. These are the example for the software. These software store in the disk, hard disk. Then that is skipped to the RAM for the when you are used to doing any program. Again I will tell, software refer to program instruction carried out by the computer when doing specific tasks such as word processing, database. Then another one, firmware. Firmware refer to program instruction software held permanently in hardware, normally in ROM, often used to instruct the computer in its housekeeping, testing, and monitoring tasks. So, what are the firmware? Firmware also software. It is normally stored in the ROM. Do you have any experience about the motherboard? There is including the CMOS battery and that combined ROM. This ROM chip stores some software to computer housekeeping, testing and monitoring tasks. So these are the hardware for the definition or define the hardware and software. And these are the when you are doing some attempting to assemble or deassemble for the computer system, used to use correct tools. These are the toolkit for the computer technician or engineer use. Then there is some precautions here. Then when we are removing or replacing the component, carefully that the ESD damage. What is ESD damage? ESD means electrostatic discharge that transfer between two bodies different potential. ESD can weak immediately damage sensitive computer components such as microprocessor and also motherboard, memory, hard drive. Therefore, you will remember that the correct servicing items identified. Then you can use these precautions. There is some anti-static mat and rust strip can prevent damage to ESD. These you can use correct tools and precautions that computer I want to tell about the motherboard again, that the motherboard or main circuit board contain important system components including the CPU, RAM, chipsets and BIOS. This picture shows the computer power supply. What are the main voltage about the computer power supply? Plus 12 volt, minus 12 volt, plus 5 volt, minus 5 volt. These are the main voltage used in the computer system. And then later we can discuss about the other component for the, and today we learn about some detail about the computer hardware and the basic parts of the computer. Then this is assessment, or you can note down this assessment for this is the written exam 2016 third semester, microprocessor and microcontroller. They are asking about the question number 1. What is meant by computer hardware? What is meant by computer hardware? What is meant by computer hardware? Then I'll give the answer. Hardware meant refer to the physical component that make up a computer system, including the component as well as peripheral device such as monitor, printer, modem and so on. This is the answer. for the question number 1. Question B. List 5 different hardware items. List 5 different hardware items. Then the hardware items for monitor, mouse, printer, scanner, modem, keyboard. These are the example for the hardware items. Then question C. Name 3 types of video card available in the market. I give some model answer for this one. PCI graphic card. This graphic card use PCI graphic card. Use PCI slot. Then AGP graphic card. It's a video card. PGI Express and AVG. It is an antivirus. These are, for example, for you can find out the other video card type. Then question D. Specification for computer display. Specification. Aspect ratio. That the aspect ratio, it is very important that the height and the width of the computer there is a ratio 4 to 3. This is the aspect ratio. It is also similar to LED display also. That the second one, display resolution, width and height in pixel. Number 3, color depth, measured in bit per pixel. Number 4, power management. Older type, CRT type monitor use more power. Now modern LED display use less power. And question 2. What is meant by software? What is meant by software? What is meant by software? Software refer to program instructions carried out by the computer when doing specific tasks such as word processing and database and so on. Software refer to program instruction. Then other question C. Give applications. Write down application on following software. Write down the application of following software. These are the software and application. Adobe Photoshop. What purpose for using the Adobe Photoshop? Product, organize, edit and create image. Adobe Photoshop. Adobe Premiere. It is video editing software. Adobe Reader. Application for Android phones. Adobe Reader. Application for Android phones. Google Chrome. It is a web application that runs on the Google Chrome web browser. Other one, Microsoft Office application. Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint. These are the Office package including this. Other one, last one, VLC Player. VLC Player is a free and open source cross-platform multimedia player. And D, what is meant by firmware? Firmware refer to program instruction software held permanently in hardware, normally ROM, often used to instruct computer in a housekeeping, testing and monitoring tasks, so on. What are the question E? Firmware applications, housekeeping, testing and monitoring. That is enough for the today. We discuss about that. Now I want to remember that you can draw the computer block diagram, about the microcomputer block diagram. This is asking about several times in the previous past papers, that the main items you can identify the microprocessor. This is the microprocessor, and this is the memory, and this is the keyboard input device. This is the interface. This is output device, monitor, and the hard disk drive, floppy disk drive. This is our interface. Identify the arrows, both direction can be used. This is the computer motherboard, computer system block diagram. Right. Today I am finished. Thank you very much.